Welcome to Subramani. The ability to set goals and quantify them can be taught very early to kids. So when you have a 5-year-old or a 6-year-old asking for certain things, you say either this or that, right? We normally do that, saying, I got you the ice cream so you won't get the balloon, right? It's so simple as that. Or getting kids to start saving from their pocket money and saying, if you want these goals, you need to save so much. I have friends who expect kids to save. Like, for example, a friend of mine, this is a very old story, maybe 20 years back. He used to give his son a 5 rupee coin every day, which was very important for the son to be able to be with his friends and eat something in school. He could get a bag of chips or something like that. You really can't stop kids from eating. So he used to give that 5 rupee coins. And then he started setting the price for things which his son wanted. So if his son wanted a new tennis racket or a new tennis shoe, which he thought was not justified, he would say, okay, give me 20 coins. And 20 coins meant every day the son had to struggle with that 5 rupee coin. Do I buy this bag of chips or do I save it for my shoe? So if he said that in a month or in 45 days, if he could get 20 coins, it meant he really struggled hard to get it. And he gave up a lot of chips to buy that shoe. And for the father, it didn't mean anything because the shoe would cost 4,000 rupees or 5,000 rupees. And this was in terms of value just 100 rupees. But it was teaching his son prioritizing, right? So all of us will come through this conflict right through life, right? For a fresh college graduate, should he be repaying his educational loan or should he be investing for his future? Should he be buying a motorcycle or should he take public transport and repay the loan faster? Should he be staying with his parents or should he be staying away from his parents? Should he be staying with his parents and work in the same city, albeit earn a little less? Or should he shift to a bigger city, right? All these conflicts are ultimately financial conflicts. So somewhere it is hitting your finances. So if you can teach your children how to prioritize, that is going to be very useful for them in the rest of their life. Right from the 4-year-old daughter of yours who can't choose between a pink frock and a blue frock or a green frock and an orange frock. Let them decide and let them take their decisions. Let them be responsible for their own action. And then you start quantifying the goals. You say, okay, this is the goal, this is what. So first step, what would be the first step is you would first make a list of your goals. So if you're a fresh college graduate and 22 years of age or 24 years of age, you really don't have too many goals, in the sense that your goal could be typically maybe buying a motorcycle, maybe buying 4 wheels, maybe making a down payment for a house, or you're not in such a hurry. Maybe you'll be 32, 33 by the time you decide that you want to make a down payment for a house. So whatever are your priorities, I mean, it could be making a Europe trip, it would be making taking a vacation somewhere within India, outside India, whatever. So depending on that, you may be wanting to save or invest. So first, just step 1 before you start your investment is determining your goal. So when you're determining your goal, especially let's say when you're talking of a 23-year-old, there's not really much of a goal setting to be spoken about. But when you are, say, 35 years of age, and you have 2 kids and you have now to decide whether how you will be investing for them, how will you be investing for your own retirement. Maybe you want to buy that 3 BHK which you and your wife have been eyeing, right? So get all that clear and you have to now determine the goals and write down the goals. Step 1 is before any investment thought comes in is to write down the goals and then sit with your wife and prioritize the goals. So first write down the goals, then quantify the goals. Your daughter's education in Harvard 20 years later is not going to cost 2 crores. It is going to cost much more than that. Maybe it's going to cost 8 crores, right? So because your daughter is only now 1 year old and you want her to go to Harvard when she's 21, 22. So you have to sit down and quantify your goals. So buying a house after 5 years, that is today's price into 2, maybe in 5 years the prices will double, or maybe in 7 years the prices will double, whatever it is. So you have to say what is the goal, and how much is the price of the goal, or the current cost, and then you adjust it for inflation and say, okay, this is going to be the cost which I have for my goal. So whatever are your priorities, for example, your wife may think that daughter's marriage is a priority, and you may think that your retirement is a priority. I am not getting into this battle of which is the more important thing. Between husband and wife, you have to decide, because you are a family. I keep saying personal finance is not about personal, it is not about finance, it is about family communication, about what goals you have. If the husband wants a Europe trip and the wife wants a bigger house, you have to decide that, okay, that extra 10 lakhs which is going in the Europe trip is going to contribute to the extra bedroom that you want to buy. Right, so you have to decide what are your priorities, and you have to quantify them, and then you have to determine whether it is going to be achieved or whether it is not going to be achieved. So goals have to be, first of all, be reasonable. After you have quantified, you have to say whether it is reasonable, and also having set the reasonable goals, you calculate and you realize that, okay, for achieving all your goals, you need to do a SIP of 3 lakh rupees per month, and you and your wife recoil in horror, saying there is no way how you can do a 3 lakh rupee SIP. You are thinking more in terms of 2 lakh rupee SIP. So some priorities will have to be made, some changes you will have to make. You will have to say, okay, the ESOP which I have got, if it goes up, then we will do this, or we will not do this. So some of the luxuries or lovely to have kind of things could be taking the back burner. But what you must have, like you must have your retirement goal in place, you must have your children's education goals in place. You can sit with your children and decide that this will happen and this will not happen. You will tell your children, okay, this is what I can afford, and this is what I will pay for. Like, I'll pay 50 lakhs for your higher education. Beyond that, you have to fend for yourself. Which means if your child gets admission into IIM Ahmedabad or ISB Hyderabad, yes, you will be able to pay for it. But if your child is planning to go and do an Ivy League in the US and it is going to cost 2 crores, your contribution is only 50 lakhs. The beyond that, they will have to pay. So the best route would be perhaps to go abroad, study, do an MS and take up a job, and then be able to fund their MBA. You cannot fund it. Making this clear, making the priorities clear, telling the children what goals you have, what you will pay for, what you will not pay for, where they have to fend for themselves, who will pay for their weddings, right? Doing all this would happen when you are, say, in your 40s, or maybe even in your late 40s or early 50s. When you're younger, obviously the goals are very different, but even if for a 24-year-old, one goal, said or unsaid, is a retirement goal. Now you call it retirement and the kids will recoil in horror, saying, oh God, I'm just 23, why am I talking about retirement? So let us call it financial freedom. So at some stage when you are able to tell your boss, I'm not coming from tomorrow, or I have enough money to tell you to just get lost, I'm not coming. And so to have that money, I have to have a priority that I have to put money away for my retirement. If you decide to have one child and you think the child will cost 4-5 crores throughout the career, including paying for education abroad and all that, adjusted for inflation, then you have to prioritize that. And between husband and wife, if you have not decided whether to have children, think of the financial impact also of having children. Think about all that. Think about your goals. See what to prioritize, what not to prioritize, what will work, what will not work. And then basis of that, have the goals, quantify the goals, prioritize the goals. This is step one. I mean, I've spent a whole book on goal-based investing, saying you can get rich too with goal-based investing. See, all my books have a byline. So the book name, what you can see is You Can Be Rich Too, but the byline is with goal-based investing. So goal-based investing is something which I can talk about for about 240 pages. So that's not the purpose of this video. This video is to say you need to set your goals, you need to quantify the goals, and then you need to prioritize. And you tell your spouse, sit with your spouse and say, do we need this, do we don't need this, do we need this, do we don't need this. As a kid, it is very simple, it's very small. Do you want, as a parent, you can ask, do you want a balloon or do you want ice cream? Well, in life you have to choose between a lot of balloons and ice creams, and You have to choose whether you can afford the balloon, whether you want to postpone the ice cream, or you think the ice cream is important and the balloon is not important. It is completely up to you to make your choices. Be happy with the goals that you have set, and be happy with the EMI that you are paying or the SIP that you are doing. Thank you very much.